So how long will housing prices in Windsor, Essex continue to rise? That's probably the question I get the most these days from both buyers and sellers. It's been going up since about 2015. Last year it rose almost 20% and expected to go up more this year. But how long can it really continue to rise? So here's what the evidence shows. Canada as a whole is expected to rise 3.7% in the price of housing in 2020. But Windsor, another 11%. And in January alone, we skyrocketed further than that. Windsor is rising faster than the average city in Canada. An economist with CIBC, Benjamin Tal, says that the reason we're rising so quickly in Windsor is because of our demand. And our demand is driven by three things. One, low interest rates. As long as debt is cheap, people will borrow and they will spend. Two, low unemployment rates at the moment. We're building bridges, we're building hospitals, we're building Pacificas. Things are rolling at the moment. And three, out-of-town buyers, okay? $450,000 for a raised ranch might sound like a lot to someone who grew up in this area, but for someone from Toronto or London, that's a steal. Okay, so if no price drop in 2020, when? Well, let me show you this graph. This is the average price of a house in Windsor going all the way back to 1967. The last time the Leafs won a cup. So you know it was a long time ago, okay? Now look at it. Show me the year where it plummets. There's small drops in the average price in the recession years, but the market quickly recovers and the drops are not as drastic as we would like to think heading into a recession. Okay, I mean, look at the Great Recession. Back in 2008, 2009, the price drops, less than $10,000 average. And then the next year, it's right back up higher than it ever was. And to think in 2008, people were like, what? $162,000 for a house? That's too much. But how much of a deal does that sound like now? My point is, don't put off life because you think you can predict the market. You can't. You don't have a crystal ball. I don't have a crystal ball. We just don't know. Okay? So if little Timmy's getting too big to share a room, maybe it's time to move. Okay? Don't put off downsizing because you think the market might continue to rise, and don't put off upgrading because you think the market might crash. The simple answer is we don't know. And if you're at the place when you need to talk about how much your house is worth and what you could get, give me a call and we can sit down and we can have an honest conversation. If you need more information about anything you saw in this video or you have any questions, shoot me a text, give me a phone call, or shoot me an email. Until then, I'll see you next time.